What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome back to another episode of the NBA Talk Podcast for the week of March the 7th, 2017, all the way to March the 12th, 2017. I'm your host, Hani, and on this episode of the podcast, we're going to be discussing a few things. First of all, we're going to be revealing the reason why DeMarcus Cousins was not traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. And that's the biggest story we got for this week. I mean, it's a big story. We really just never knew why that trade fell through, why the Lakers couldn't get the job done. But now we have the reason. I'll be giving you that. We're also going to be talking about how LaVar Ball still says his son, Lonzo Ball, is better than Stephen Curry. We're going to get into that situation. We're going to get into the issue and why it blew up into something massive. We're also going to be talking about how Derrick Rose is considering the Milwaukee Bucks as a potential free agent destination. We're also going to be talking about how Andrew Bogut is actually out now for the rest of the season with a broken leg. Along with that, we have Markelle Fultz declares for the NBA draft as he's a potential number 1 overall pick. So we're going to get into my thoughts on that. And finally, we're going to talk about how Dirk Nowitzki becomes the 6th player in NBA history to score 30,000 career points. So, and if you guys want to skip to any point of the video, any topic that I want to discuss, I'll be leaving timestamps in the description down below, so definitely check that out. And yeah, without any further ado, let's get started. So according to the score, poor communication hurt Lakers' chances of landing Cousins. The Los Angeles Lakers didn't land DeMarcus Cousins, but they would have had a better chance of acquiring the All-Star big man had their former front office personnel done a better job of communicating the potential deal. After learning that Sacramento was interested in moving Cousins, Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak failed to include both Magic Johnson and Jeanie Buss in the negotiations, even when Johnson staying in the same city as Kings general manager Vlade Divac. Jeanie, the Lakers' controlling owner, had previously informed Kupchak and her brother that she was to be notified whenever a trade involving any of the team's recent lottery selections was discussed. Jeanie eventually learned that the Los Angeles Lakers had explored moving 2 of those picks with Sacramento, but only rather after the Kings had finalized the deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. While Jeanie had already made up her mind about firing Kupchak and her brother, the lack of communication in the Cousins deal only reinforced the decision, according to Shelburne. Jeanie was since found herself in a legal battle with her brother after the pair reportedly attempted to dethrone her as controlling owner and team president last week. So we finally have the answer to the biggest question we were all asking about the NBA trade deadline, and that was why the Lakers were not able to land DeMarcus Cousins in free agency. And I mean, in a blockbuster trade that would have shocked the landscape of the NBA. So basically, during All-Star Weekend, the Lakers were in serious talks with the Kings on a potential deal that would send DeMarcus to Los Angeles. However, Mitch Kupchak and Jim Buss, they didn't communicate this at all with Jeanie Buss, who's the controlling owner of the Lakers, and Magic Johnson, the advisor at the time. There was no communication. Jim and Mitch were basically doing this on their own, and that created a chaotic atmosphere. So basically, they both sides didn't know what the hell was going on. Jeanie and Magic didn't even know that this trade was going to happen. And Jim and Mitch were making all the negotiations themselves. Along with that, another point that was in the article states that Jeanie told Jim and Mitch that if there's any trade involving any of their lottery picks, Jeanie must know about it, because Jeanie has to know about these things because it's financial. And Jeanie control a lot of the financial aspects that happens with the Los Angeles Lakers. So she said that she needed to know that, but they didn't tell him that because the trade that they had involved 2 picks. So once she found out about it, the Kings already accepted a deal with the Pelicans. And the funny part is, Jeanie was actually wanting DeMarcus Cousins. She would have wanted DeMarcus Cousins had Mitch and Jim told her that, look, we have this deal on the table. Do you want us to accept it? I think she would have said yes. What the hell are you guys thinking? Do it. But Jim and Mitch Kupchak, they couldn't do it. So, in my opinion, I think the Lakers were completely retarded. Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak were completely retarded about this trade. man, because they did not take this trade for Cousins. He is the best center in basketball, and if the Kings are willing to trade him for a low price, then why did you not take this trade? Why did you not trade for him? If the Kings don't wanted lottery picks, give it to them. You know, I mean, seriously, DeMarcus Cousins would have been a great addition to the Los Angeles Lakers. He would have been a great addition to the already young core. He would have been, a new attractive face to lure fans to Los Angeles. He would, also be attracting free agents as well. So it wins. It helps the Lakers in so many different ways. Just bringing DeMarcus Cousins in. Like, I don't understand why you would not make a trade for him. And why would you not involve Genie and Magic as well? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Along with that, I think the Lakers were stupid for another aspect of this trade. Because there was another report that I read saying that the Lakers trade, that Jim and Mitch Kupchak actually declined the trade because Brandon Ingram was involved in that deal and they did not want to give up Brandon Ingram. Well, Brandon Ingram, he was the number 2 overall pick last year, but let's be honest here. I would give up Brandon Ingram in a heartbeat if I get DeMarcus Cousins. Because Brandon Ingram, he hasn't proven himself yet. He hasn't shown his full capabilities yet. Yes, he shows flashes of Kevin Durant. Yes, he's a talented young player who has the potential to be a superstar. But he is not one yet. And the Lakers do not want to wait 3 to 4 years for this guy to blossom into a superstar. They want a superstar now. They want someone who can lead this team now to prominence. Because Laker fans have been waiting a long time for this team to just become relevant again. And getting DeMarcus Cousins would have been a great step in that direction. But Jim and Mitch Kupchak didn't want to do it. They didn't want to give up Ingram, which I thought was completely retarded. As, why would you do that to your franchise? Why would you do that to your fan base? Ingram may be a solid player, but if all you had to do is give him up in a couple of picks, I would have done the deal. I would have legitimately done that deal. I think that's a better package than even what the New Orleans gave up for DeMarcus Cousins. At least they're getting back the number 2 overall pick in a draft. They're getting back lottery picks. I mean, I don't know about you, but that's a great trade in my opinion to get DeMarcus Cousins to LA. I mean, I don't understand because I think DeMarcus Cousins would have made a bigger impact to the Lakers now than Ingram is. Like, it just makes so much more sense to go for DeMarcus Cousins, But I don't know what they were thinking, man. I don't know what Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak were thinking, but I kind of have an idea. Now, personally, this is just me. I just think Jim Buss was threatened by Magic Johnson because at the time Magic Johnson was hired by Jeanie Buss to be an advisor to Jim, to help Jim make basketball decisions. Because Jim Buss, I'll be honest, is a complete idiot when it comes to basketball operations. Like his father, the late great Dr. Jerry Buss, put the Lakers in control, the business side of the Lakers in control of Jeanie, and the president of basketball operations title goes to Jim. And Jim, he's a complete idiot. He doesn't know anything about basketball. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. And Jeanie said, you know what? Let's bring Magic in. Let's have Magic and someone who knows basketball come in and be an advisor to Jim to make sure Jim doesn't do anything stupid anymore. And I think Jim Buss just felt threatened by that. He just felt like, oh shit, man, this Magic Johnson's coming in. That means I could potentially lose my job. So I think he keep himself relevant. He tried to go after DeMarcus Cousins behind Jeanie's back, but because of how retarded he is, he couldn't get a deal through. He was so stupid that he couldn't make a trade or even tell his sister that, look, I have this trade. Do you want me to do it? If you say yes, I'll do it. If you say no, I won't do it. Like, I think if he would have simply just ran the trade by Jeanie Buss, I think the result of this trade would have been so much, would have been way different. I think DeMarcus Cousins would have been in LA right now instead of New Orleans. Because, I mean, I don't know what Jeanie Buss would have thought about this, but if I was the owner of the Lakers or the GM of the Lakers, I'd say, what the hell are you doing? Accept the trade. If the Kings want that deal, if they are willing to give up, take that for DeMarcus Cousins, what are you waiting for? Like, that's literally how I would think about it. And I think that was Jeanie Buss's concern. I think that was the tipping point. I think that was the biggest reason why he lost his job. Both Jim and Mitch, because of how stupid they are. Because of how stupid they were with the organization and how they didn't even think of running the idea past. Sure, maybe Jim Buss had another opinion, but he could have pitched it to Jeanie. He could have pitched it to Magic and said, what do you think of this? Maybe we can keep Ingram. Maybe Ingram can be something for us. Maybe he can be our future. You know? I mean, I think that would have been a smarter move rather than saying, no, selling a Vlade Divac. No, I don't want to give up Ingram. Screw you. All right, bye. Like, seriously? This was DeMarcus Cousins on the line. A franchise-changing move, and you didn't make it. You let it go. It's like you have a ball. It's coming. You have it right in your hands. It falls into your hands, but then you drop it. Like, it's one of those situations that I just really thought it was so stupid. And I really never understood what the hell happened. But now we get it. Now we see why. Like, the Lakers couldn't get DeMarcus Cousins because of the miscommunication that happened in the Lakers front office. That franchise was not on the same page. Half of the organization was with Jeanie, half of the organization was with Jim, and then, it was just all chaotic and messed up, and that led to probably one of the best trades the Lakers could have made in a while just slipped through their fingers. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. Overall, man, I just feel the Lakers screwed up here, man. I just feel that this could have been the opportunity for the Lakers to finally return to prominence, but at the end of the day, the deal fell through. And now the hope of Laker fans is that Magic Johnson can return the Lakers back to its former glory. But, overall, man, this was a very stupid thing to do from Jim Buss and Mitch Kupchak, and you can see why they got fired for it, because they are complete idiots and they just couldn't get the job done. And I wish Magic Johnson the best of luck because he's got a lot of work cut out for him. So we'll see what happens about that. So we're going to move on to our next story. LaVar Ball stands by his claim Lonzo's better than Curry. LaVar Ball isn't backing down from his claim that his son, UCLA standout Lonzo Ball, is better than Stephen Curry. The elder Ball joined Undisputed on Tuesday after being criticized by Charles Barkley a day earlier and doubled down on his comments, saying that he has the utmost confidence in his son's ability. Just because I say he's better than somebody, who cares? I believe it, he said, so I don't care what nobody else says. You can judge on your own. Now, I haven't been talking about this issue primarily because I really just thought it was going to be something minor. I thought this was going to be like, okay, he said it, this will go away quickly. But clearly I was wrong here. Clearly this just became a huge thing now that is being talked about everywhere. But for those of you who do not know what's going on, apparently UCLA standout prospect Lonzo Ball, who's been playing fantastic in college so far, his father, LaVar Ball, has been constantly saying to the media that his son Lonzo is better than two-time MVP Stephen Curry right now. And this has led to serious controversy surrounding Lonzo's future in the NBA and the attitude and just things about what's going to happen and his success in the NBA as well. And now recently, LaVar Ball, going on Undisputed, doubled down on his claim. He said, nah, my son is better than Steph Curry. And he said that on Undisputed. So, yeah, I mean, this has become a big story because now people are talking about it everywhere. People are saying, well, why is this guy saying all this shit? Why is he saying that his son is better than Stephen Curry? Why is it he's doing this? Why is he doing that? And this is leading to a lot of questions about Lonzo and his future, being what this guy is going to be capable of in the NBA. Will he be living up to the hype that his dad is sort of throwing out there to the media, saying that, yeah, he's all hype. You got to believe the hype. Believe him. He's better. He's great. He's amazing. It's leaving a lot of questions that can he really be that great? Can he really beat Stephen Curry? And to dissect this topic, we have to look at it in two ways. First of all, it's what he said. And second of all, the way he said it. Now, I'm going to start off with what he said. Now, he said that his son is better than two-time MVP Stephen Curry. Now, personally, I actually surprisingly agree to what LaVar Ball is saying about his son. Sort of. Now, as of right now, I have to be honest, Lonzo Ball is not better than Stephen Curry. I have to say that. Just via experience alone, Stephen Curry is much better than Lonzo Ball because Stephen Curry has been in the NBA. Lonzo Ball hasn't even played a minute of NBA basketball yet. So the comparison is illogical at this point. Do they have similar qualities? Yes. Is Lonzo a good shooter? Yes. Is Lonzo a great passer? Yes. But is he better than Stephen Curry right now? No. However, that doesn't mean Lonzo can't surpass Curry in his overall game when he gets to the NBA. Now, what I mean by that is Stephen Curry is a player who's been in the league for a while. He's a veteran now. He knows the game. But his ceiling as to where his game can go is growing shorter and shorter season by season. So the way he can improve his game is actually not that much anymore. He can't improve his game drastically anymore. So his game is his game. What you see now from Curry is basically the player who he is in the NBA, what he's known for, what he's going to be doing for the next few years. That is the Curry we're going to be all seeing. And quite honestly, and I'm going to say completely honestly, Curry has a lot of holes in his game. He has a lot of things that he can't do on a basketball court that causes him to not be a good player. And what I mean, this can actually lead to the advantage to Lonzo, as Lonzo hasn't played in the NBA, but he's seeing Steph Curry now. He's able to analyze Curry's overall game. He's able to look at Curry's game and say, okay, this is what Curry's bad at. Well, I'm not going to be bad at that. I'm going to be better than him at that because I can see his mistake. I can see what he's doing wrong, and I can correct it. So in that sense, yes, Lonzo Ball can be better than Stephen Curry because Lonzo can look at Curry as an example and say, what is this guy doing wrong? Let me fix that. So basically what I'm saying is that Stephen Curry can't play defense. Lonzo Ball, he can say, okay, if Stephen Curry can't play defense, I'm going to teach myself to play better defense so that I can be better than Stephen Curry. If Stephen Curry can't, drive, then Lonzo Ball would say, no, I'm going to learn how to drive. I'm going to learn how to attack the rim. Be a physical player because if my shot's not going down, I want to be able to have a bigger impact on the game rather than what Curry's doing. Thus making him a better overall player. So from that regard, yes, Lonzo Ball has the potential to be better than Stephen Curry. But right now, he is not. So overall, LaVar Ball isn't wrong by saying that his son is better than Stephen Curry. Because the potential of that happening is very high rather than now. Now, saying that now really doesn't make any sense because Lonzo isn't in the NBA right now. That is my point here, which leads me to my next point. I think as a father, LaVar Ball is doing a great job in showing his son that he cares and that he's showing support for what his son is doing. I think he's doing a great job. I mean, the fact that you are still coming out here and saying, I believe in him and I know what he's capable of and I know what he's going to do. I believe in him. This is who he is and I know what he's going to do. That's admirable. I can say that as a person who's I'm not a father or anything, but I can kind of see what that looks like. I can say, okay, yeah, that's a true support from a parent, which is a great thing to see. It's but I think the way LaVar Ball went about saying what he said wasn't the right approach to it, because you don't go out to the media and start I don't know, saying things that are a little bit outlandish. Now, I mentioned about timing. The timing was wrong right here. Lonzo Ball hasn't played a single minute of NBA basketball, and you're comparing him to a 2-time league MVP, a guy who's been in the league for 7 years now. Like, the comparison's illogical because, you can't. Lonzo's not even in the league right now. Had Lonzo been in the NBA, it might have been a little bit of a different story, but the timing is wrong. Plus, you're saying this now before he gets drafted. Do you know how much pressure you're putting on your son? Because if he's not successful, if he doesn't, live up to the hype that you're sort of putting out there, then people are going to hate on him. People are going to, hear about it, and people are going to all try to put all of it onto him. The pressure you're putting on your son is not a good thing for him, and you're putting expectations that maybe he might not be able to live up to. So, he hasn't even been drafted yet. And that's my whole thing about it, was that, look, if you want to support your son, support it to yourself. Support him outside the media. Do not do it inside the media where everybody is going to know what the hell you were saying. You can tell your son in private that you're better than Stephen Curry. You can beat him, as motivation for him. But you can't just go out to the media and say something so outlandish like that, because it not only puts a bad look onto yourself, it puts more pressure and more expectations onto your son, which is completely unfair to him, because he doesn't deserve that. He's not saying anything right now. But, I think LaVar Ball needs to realize what he's actually doing here, and he needs to realize it soon, as this could be very detrimental to Lonzo's career. But overall, man, I think LaVar Ball really just took this small issue and really just made it into a massive one. I think, this issue just really shouldn't have been talked about. I don't think anybody should have really be talking about this right now. Because remember, Lonzo hasn't been drafted yet. He's still in college. So we don't need to really talk about, he's better than Stephen Curry. We're not going to know that until we see Lonzo Ball in an NBA court showcasing that, yes, he's better than Stephen Curry. That's the only way this will ever go away. But overall, man, I just think this should not even been talked about. I don't think anybody should be talking about this right now, but it is what it is. It's a big deal right now, but we'll see what happens. I wish Lonzo Ball the best of luck. I think he's been doing fantastic in college, but we'll see what happens when it happens. We're going to move on now to Derrick Rose would consider the Bucks in free agency. Former NBA MVP Derrick Rose will enter uncharted territory this summer when he hits unrestricted free agency for the first time. And while remaining in the Big Apple appears to be his priority, the 28-year-old point guard is keeping his options wide open. The Milwaukee Bucks would be in the mix to acquire Rose's services, which he acknowledged prior to his New York Knicks 104-93 loss Wednesday at BMO Harris Bradley Center. Of course, this is like home, Rose told the New York Post Mike Berman. Only an hour and 30 minutes away east for family to come, but they don't usually come. Rose led the way for New York with 26 points on a scorching 13 of 16 shooting from the field, while Milwaukee only got a combined 14 points with 4 makes on 16 total attempts from Matthew Dellavedova and rookie Malcolm Brogdon. From a personal standpoint, it's clear Rose would be an upgrade over what the Bucks have at the position, and with Milwaukee being in arm's reach of where he resides with his 4-year-old son in Chicago, it seems like it's a match made in heaven. You hear things, but it never takes too seriously. I understand what they have going on here, but I can't think of it because I'm here. I've never been a free agent. This isn't the worst area for me, but I just want to win. The Bucks would be strapped for cash following the 2016-17 campaign, especially if Greg Monroe opts in to a $17.8 million player option for the next season. Rose will reportedly seek a max contract, so it will take some financial maneuvering to make it all possible. In 56 appearances for the Knicks, Rose is averaging 18 points a game, 4.5 assists, and 3.9 rebounds with a player efficiency rating of 16.6 in 32.6 minutes. The team is 26-39 through, though, and is 5.5 games back of the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference. So we all know that Derrick Rose is set to become a free agent at the end of the season into the offseason, which means that he'll be looking for the best possible option for him. Like, he's going to finally look at his option and say, look, now I have a choice to go where I want to go, where I want to take my career. And Rose has been through a lot. I mean, he has legit been a lot. I mean, I've been a fan of Derrick Rose since his Chicago days and his MVP days. Just seeing him get hurt and just going through all that was very hard for fans. I think it was hard for him. But after all that, you can never be the same player, man. You're never that same guy who you once were. And I think Derrick Rose realizes that. I think he needs to realize that he's not that same guy anymore. But one of the options he's considering is the Milwaukee Bucks, as Derrick sees it as a way to be close to home and join a youthful up-and-coming roster with the Bucks, and playing under Jason Kidd, who he really respects and wants to play under. Now, as far as a position goes, I think Rose would fit nice in Milwaukee. I think he's going to be an upgrade over Matthew Dellavedova. Definitely. I think Derrick Rose will be able to lift up that roster. He'll be another star to pair alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo. And he fits that young roster. I think Rose can be a nice veteran presence. He's only 28 years old, so Rose is still relatively young. And, I think he can do a lot of great things in Milwaukee. But my concerns, however, really just come in with the financial side of what this will take. Because the Bucks will have to pay Derrick Rose a lot of money because that's what he's going to command. He's going to command a max contract because he doesn't know if he's going to get one again. So he's going to command a max contract. But, the Bucks will have to pay him that much money, which I personally don't think Derrick Rose is worth. I mean, much as I'm a fan of Derrick Rose, I don't think he deserves a max contract. I don't think he's played up to one. I mean, 18 points a game isn't anything supernatural anymore. I mean, we have Russell Westbrook averaging a triple-double, man. So, Derrick Rose personally just isn't a max contract player anymore. I don't think he ever will be. I don't think he ever will be that same guy who we saw in Chicago just kill it and just be the man. I don't think we can see that from him anymore, and I don't think he deserves that max contract. And if the Bucks do pay him, I think it'll be really bad for the Bucks, as they'll be handicapped as to what they can do with free agents. Because now you're gonna be put into a situation like the Greg Monroe signing, where you pay all your money to one guy, and now you don't have enough money to sign other guys to build a proper team. And I think that will hurt the Bucks more than it will help them. But overall, I'm actually kind of intrigued by this potential rumor. I think it could be interesting to see Derrick Rose in Milwaukee and see what he can do with Giannis and stuff. But I don't think it's likely to happen. I think it's unlikely to happen because, the financial reasons just make it really hard. And plus the overall future of Derrick Rose. We don't know how healthy this guy's going to be. So I just think it's too big of a risk to take for Milwaukee. But overall, man, I'm intrigued, and I'm really interested to see where Derrick Rose ends up this offseason. Next, we got another story. Cavs Bogut out for the season with a broken leg. Cavaliers center Andrew Bogut will miss the remainder of the season, including the playoffs, with a broken leg. Bogut broke his left leg in his debut for Cleveland on Monday night, an injury that occurred after the 7-footer was on the floor for just 58 seconds. The Cavs said Wednesday that Bogut won't need surgery, but he won't be back in time to help Cleveland defend his NBA title. Bogut was signed to give Cleveland some front-court depth and add another playmaker, and his loss will force general manager David Griffin to find another big man. Also, Cavaliers guard J.R. Smith has been cleared to resume practicing. He's been out since late December following surgery on a broken right thumb. He's listed as questionable for Cleveland's game in Detroit on Thursday. Coach Tyronn Lue didn't attend practice as he's being treated for a sinus inner ear issue. So basically, Bogut was making his Cavs debut, his away to Cavs debut, as we mentioned in the last episode. He signed with the Cavs, and within the first minute of the game of his debut, he bashed his knee with another player, and he ended up breaking his leg. and now he's out for the rest of the season. This really just proves one thing to me, and how injury-prone Andrew Bogut is. I mean, I know it wasn't his fault, but seriously, bro, you can't get injured that quickly. You can't be that fragile that with one contact to your knee, you're going to get injured. Like, you literally were in the game for 1 minute, and now not even 1 minute, or one play, and now you're out for the season. Like, not to mention that he's only played in 32 games this season. He hasn't been the most healthiest guy in the world. So he's very injury prone. And, it just shows that he can't stay on the court. He can't stay healthy, which is concerning for his long-term future in the NBA. As we don't know how healthy Bogut's going to be. Bogut's not getting any younger. So, I don't know. I don't know what's happening with Andrew Bogut. But he broke his leg, and he's apparently going to be waived by Cleveland now. And now I don't know what this guy's going to do, as he's on the shelf now. But overall, man, this is bad news for Cleveland, as now they have to sign another player, man, to fill up that void that Bogut has now created. But we'll see what happens, man. But this is big and devastating news for Cleveland Cavaliers fans. Potential number 1 pick Markelle Fultz declares for the NBA draft. Markelle Fultz isn't going to wait any longer than he has to in order to become a professional. The standout freshman guard for Washington announced Friday that he has elected to declare for the 2017 NBA draft, becoming the first of what is anticipated to be many young stars joining this year's draft class. After sitting down with my mom and the coaching staff, I made the decision to enter the NBA draft, Fultz said in the video posted to Twitter. Although this season hasn't gone as planned, it's really been truly a blessing to be here, and I learned plenty of life lessons on and off the court. I'm always going to be a Husky for life. Arguably a potential number 1 pick in the upcoming draft, Fultz has been sidelined for weeks with a knee injury, missing the Huskies' final 4 games of the regular season. Prior to his injuries, Fultz was a lone bright spot for Washington teams that finished second to last in the Pac-12 with 9-22 records. In 25 games, Fultz averaged a stellar 23 points a game, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, and 1.5 steals and 1.2 blocks, proving that the freshman from Upper Marlboro can do absolutely anything on the court that he wants to. So basically, the consensus number 1 overall pick in the NBA in 2017 NBA draft has just confirmed that he will be participating in the draft after one stellar season in college. I mean, Markelle Fultz is a fantastic player. You just heard the stats. He's been killing up college. He's clearly been the best player out of everybody. And his story is fantastic too. If you research his story on how he, got to where he is, how good he got, it's crazy. Man, just Google it up, man. I think Mike Korzemba on YouTube, I think he has a whole video on him and stuff. Definitely watch that. It's a good watch. However, he put up the amazing numbers, but his team didn't come up with some success, But he is ready for the NBA. This guy is clearly ready to be a professional. He's clearly ready to dominate the NBA. And I think he'll make a major impact wherever he ends up. I think he will be really, really good wherever he goes, which was scary if Boston had the number 1 overall pick. Then they add another weapon to their already stacked roster. So it's a scary thing, man. And I hear this draft class is going to be really stacked. So we're going to hope to see maybe we're going to get some nice talent coming into the NBA next season. But Markelle Fultz declared for the draft is only the first of many. But he is a consensus number 1 overall pick. And he's truly deserving of that title. I mean, he's putting up numbers that nobody else is putting up, man. But we'll see what happens, man. But overall, this is big news. And I'm really just excited to see where Markelle Fultz ends up in the NBA draft in June. And finally, the last story we got is Dirk Nowitzki become the 6th NBA player to score 30,000 career points. Dirk Nowitzki walks among the immortals. With a torrid first half against the Los Angeles Lakers on Tuesday night, Nowitzki became just the 6th player in NBA history and the first international player to score 30,000 points in his career. The Dallas Mavericks legend joined Karl Malone and Kobe Bryant as the only players to reach the plateau with a single team. Nowitzki came into Tuesday's game 20 points shy of 30,000 and promptly unleashed a barrage of his patented rainbow jumpers, hitting his first 6 field goals and pulling within 2 points in the first quarter. Just over a minute into second, The 7-foot German splashed a vintage fadeaway from the short corner over Larry Nance Jr. to send the crowd at American Airlines Center into hysterics. Nowitzki finished his banner night with 25 points and 11 rebounds in just 24 minutes as the Mavs blew the Lakers off the floor. Now, I included this because this is just big news, man. Dirk Nowitzki has been such a fantastic player. He's probably one of the best European players to have ever played the game. This guy is amazing, man. For him to reach 30,000 points is a huge milestone. He is among the greatest of all time now. You have to put him in that up there as a guy who's one of the greatest European players to ever play this game. I mean, he's done it all, and he's been really successful for it. He's been with the Mavs in and out. He's been consistent. He's been amazing. And I think this is only adds to his already impressive resume, man. And I just thought I'd include that in because I wanted to send my congratulations out to Dirk Nowitzki. And I really just wish this guy the best, man, because he is clearly a great dude. He's a great player. And yeah, that's all I can really say about Dirk Nowitzki, man. But congrats, Dirk. And with that, we'll be concluding the podcast. That's really all we have for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Leave this episode a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this. We are a basketball channel. We upload a podcast weekly called the NBA Talk Podcast, which you're on right now. We also have other videos such as what if scenarios. We're also going to be talking about some predictions, some reviews. You know the good stuff. Anything basketball, we got it covered here on NBA Talk. So if you like what you see, definitely subscribe for more content like this. Follow me on social media, guys. My Facebook and my Twitter. You guys know what to do. I seem to drop this mic all the time, man. But yeah, follow me there for the latest updates. I'm mostly active during basketball games, but you'll see me posting from time to time. Follow me there. And yeah, as always, guys, I'm Hani from NBA Talk, and I'll see you all in the next episode of the NBA Talk Podcast. Thank you so much for watching.